Hello there, Circle. All right, well done. It was confusing work, so good work. Well done for pushing through. Let's have a look at your work. The maps below show the centre of a small town called Islip as it is now and plans for its development. And as it is now and the future plans for its development. The two maps given illustrate, or we could even just say the two maps illustrate the developments which are predicted to take place in the centre of Islip. Well done. Very good tense there, and well done for using the which in there as well. So good points there for regard to grammatical range and accuracy. Present, there's only a main road separating the town into two parts, with two lines of shops along the road. Good vocabulary. A small path in the west leads to the main road to the school at the southwestern corner, and the other path links the main road with the park. The accommodation area is situated at the south of the main road. Super. In the future, the present main road is forecast to be demolished, substituted by a dual carriageway, designed to encompass the town centre. Another noticeable alteration would possibly be to ban all traffic vehicles and only pedestrians will be allowed to enter the town centre. In this area, many new facilities are envisioned to be added, including the bus station, shopping centre and car park. Meanwhile, good comparisons, the shops in the north are also expected to disappear, with the shops in the south likely to remain. Besides, a further plan would be the construction of two new residential areas. The school and park would probably remain unchanged. What a shame. We were doing really well there, Circle. You could see, or you could hear, that it was written in a very natural fashion. It was just flowing. We've got very clear communication. Small grammatical mistake there, but the rest was really smooth. And I guess the full stop there is just the formatting between different software programs. Overall, a comparison of the two maps reveals that the town centre will experience dramatic changes with the introduction of new utilities and the alteration of the road network. Apart from the articles in that final sentence, we did extremely well there, Circle. Very impressed. I think this is the best task one you have written so far. And as I said before, I'm reading through it. I'm not stumbling through it. And it's beginning to end. And I could probably draw the two maps just from this description, which is always a good sort of like it's the sign of a good academic task one if the reader can envisage clearly what has happened or what is happening on the graphs. So well done, and we even got good control of the tenses. And we got the summary in there as well. Excellent work. Very impressed. Nowadays, most green energy is becoming ever more prevalent in both developed countries and developing countries. Excellent. Some argue that they greatly reduce costs. Good. And are better for the environment. While others believe that they are a serious threat to energy security. Beautiful. Let's both these. Sorry. It's been a long day for me, and I was going to give you an evaluation of your ability to write out the question. Sorry about that. Let's go. It is true that many eco-friendly energy resources have been becoming widely used to power industries, heat or cool homes, and drive cars in some countries. Super. Power cars. I mean, software can drive cars, humans can drive cars, but energy can't drive cars, so we have to say power cars in some countries. Despite concerns about adverse impacts, despite concerns about the adverse impacts on energy security in some countries, we've got a bit of repetition here, Circle. So let's just delete one of them. I think in the second one, it's not really necessary. It's not necessary because we just mentioned it a few seconds ago. So concerns about adverse impacts on energy security, I firmly believe is sort of like the more natural way. These green energies would be of great significance to the environment and even the future of human beings. So the environment is very important, okay? I'm saying it's very important because it is common to have a task 2 question about the environment. Potential threats to energy security do exist in some countries. Third time we've got some countries. Be careful. Be careful. Okay? In particular with rapid development of clean energies. This is largely because green energy resources have an uneven distribution in the world, which means that some countries with scarce renewable energy sources have to depend on imports. If some energy producing countries cut off supplies, economic instability would possibly appear in countries heavily relying on imports because energy plays a vital role in bolstering the national economy. Okay. Now, let's just see. There's a little bit of a missing here in our argument. Okay, so and I think it was around here. Yep. So let's see. Energy security. This is largely because green energy resources have an uneven distribution and are not as reliable as fossil fuels. Full stop. This means that some countries with scarce renewable energy sources would have to depend on imports if the green energy supplies ran out or if the green energy supply stopped. Okay? We need to make that clarification. We can't say uneven distribution. We have to mention and explain this idea of threat to energy security. Okay, why is there a threat to energy security? Well, because green energy relies on the sun, and if it's cloudy or if there's no wind, then the wind power doesn't work. It's just not as secure as having, 20 tons of coal in a field waiting to be burnt. Okay, so that's really what we mean by energy security. However, there would be little doubt about the importance of eco-friendly energy resources to the environment. The rise of the rise of clean energies would considerably cut back our reliance on fossil fuels, which are normally blamed for the biggest emitter of greenhouse gases. So look at how we phrase blame. Okay, research online. Okay, because we should say something like, which are normally blamed for contributing towards greenhouse gases, which are normally to blame for climate change. Or, if you wanted to say it like this, which are normally blamed for being the largest emitter of greenhouse gases. Okay? There we go. And I think I may have said this before, but words like big, small, good, and bad are basic. So is do and be. We usually have a more accurate, more sophisticated term, so we can say usually blamed for the largest and the most serious. By contrast, green energy resources such as solar energy, wind energy, geothermal energy, and tidal energy, so lists, they usually come in 3s or 5s. So let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, it's just a cultural thing, Circle. We put lists in 3s or 5s, it just sounds better. But good little list though for the topic specific vocabulary. That's excellent. Not in Miss Green. By contrast, greenhouse would not emit greenhouse gases. So here we don't need to hedge. We say they do not because we're certain. Do not emit greenhouse gases. If we say would, we're introducing a condition, would not emit greenhouse gases if they were fueled by coal or whatever. If they were torn down. Okay, so be careful with that. In fact, an increasing number of countries have been adopting these energies to generate power. Iceland is a typical example where approximately a quarter of their electricity is derived from geothermal resources. Besides, solar energy is being used by more homes, businesses, and large-scale solar facilities in many countries. No, you're saying solar energy is being used by large-scale solar facilities. That doesn't make sense. Okay? Besides, solar energy is also being used by more homes, businesses, and factories in many countries. The price with prices of solar panels plummeting in several decades. Fantastic. Good vocabulary there, good argument. So well done. To sum up, I believe that all countries in the world should make concerted efforts to further advancements of eco-friendly energy resources because the impact of greenhouse gases on the environment it's not really detrimental. It's like seriously, it's detrimental is kind of mild. We want to, this is a bit of a crisis, yeah? So let's just see how we could rephrase this. To sum up, I believe that all countries in the world should make concerted efforts to further advancements of eco-friendly and the resources. Good. Because the impact of greenhouse gases on the environment is reaching crisis levels. Yeah, it is forecast that about 30% of power generation will come from green renewables by 2040. Okay, good. We don't have to be so specific in this final sentence. Yeah, the specificity is used to build our argument, and that should be here. Here we've just got like a general tip at the end. Yeah, it's forecast that the majority of power generation will come from green renewables in the next few decades. Okay, that sounds more natural, less specific, and it's just a good way to end. Now, did we mention better for the environment, reduce costs? Okay, so we kind of forgot about energy security, didn't we? In the conclusion here. So just be careful. When you're planning your essay, circle, and you're planning your conclusion, look back at the question and just see, okay, what points am I going to include in my conclusion? Okay? So your conclusion could be just something like, although there are serious risks to the supply of energy from green sources, there are considerably larger benefits for the environment and for society. So therefore, although the risk is small, it can be managed effectively, and for that reason, green energy is expected. The use of green energy is expected to rise in the near future. Yeah, just something like that. And then your conclusion does acknowledge both views, which is good, just like your essay has done. So well done there, Circle. I hope you are enjoying the course. It seems like you are, so that's fantastic. Well done.